cricket. I'm gonna shoot myself for this later though.
시키는 임무도 다 했어. 충의를 다했는데 어째서 내가 아니야?
Not the one I wanted. I think I wanted a better Gregor. But I guess Rodion does have a lot of slash ego, so it's not the worst. So yeah, greetings and salutations everyone. I'm Ekamak, this is Let's Play Limbus Company, The Surrendered Witnessing. So let's see, she has Serpent Lint, gain 1 poise count, inflict rupture and rupture. 1 poise count is bad. Snake Fang, inflict 2 rupture count, gain 1 poise count. Again, that's bad. Deathrite Venom, when getting rupture triggered by a critical hit. They say target, I think they probably mean attacker. Yeah, something I didn't pay attention to on Deathrite. Let's just jump over to Deathrite Utis here. Inflict Deathrite Haste. When getting rupture triggered by getting hit by an attack skill from a target with 10 plus speed. So again, they're getting the target mixed up with the attacker. You only trigger Deathrite when you're faster than the target. That's an important aspect to Deathrite. That was confusing me for quite some time. I don't have identity takeoff tickets for her, so let's not throw 81 tickets at it here, how about? 60 is fine. Gain 3 Serpent Arm next turn. At turn end, gain 3 poise and 2 poise count. On base attack skills, if the target has rupture, gain poise. Okay, now it makes a lot more sense. Like the other Heishou pack, she has to start with her defensive skill or she has no momentum. Anyway, if sum of poise on self and target's rupture potency is 10 or higher, gain coin power. Gain 2 plus poise count. On crit, if this unit has Serpent Arm, inflict rupture. If the sum of poise on self and rupture potency is 10 or higher, gain coin power. Gain 2 poise count. At 30 plus poise, consume 10 poise on self to reuse the coin. But only once. And that's interesting because it means that you're going to take out 2 Deathrite Venom for the price of... Yeah, if you've overflowed on your poise, then you'd get the extra Deathrite Venom. The thing is, the poise count still feels a little bit behind for me. If this unit has Serpent Arm, deal extra damage. If the target has Deathrite Venom, deal extra damage. Okay, so raise her speed to 3 to 7. Unlock her skill 3, Serpent's Mortal Flurry. Unfocused Volley, attack weight of 3. When this skill flips coins, each coin flips against a random enemy among its targets. The first coin always targets the main target. All on hit and all damage dealt by each coin are inflicted only against the randomly selected target. If sum of poise and the main target's rupture potency is 10 or higher, gain coin power. Gain clash power equal to Serpent Arm on self. So it's strongest if it's following up on her guard skill. Clash Win, inflict 1 rupture count against all targets. Oh! All targets gain extra rupture count, that's dangerous. Gain 2 poise count, gain 2 poise, inflict 1 rupture count on crit, and reduce the Deathrite Venom by 1. And reuse this skill once. Huh. So let's think about it. She crits. She reduces the Deathrite Venom by 1. Let's say it's at 5. Actually, where does she inflict her Deathrite Venom? On her skill 2, okay. So on crit, it actually goes down by 2. So this skill is capable of burning all of one's Deathrite Venom. Because on crit you also reuse the coin. When one ally with the fastest speed inflicts rupture damage to an enemy, inflict 1 offense level down and 1 defense level down next turn.
보였어? 안 보였을 텐데. 피어진 뱀은 소리보다 빠르거든.
I see a small group of people fleeing, navigating past the bodies growing cold and stiff. But it won't matter. Don't they know there's no getting away from the snakes? Gah! Well, it's not as deadly as the night in the back streets. The night time of Hongwan is when various grievances and resentments come to light and clash. Maybe that's why. Nighttime is when those who harass and bully vendors and merchants during the daytime then tremble and fall in the dirt to scurry under their desks. Nighttime is when those who would normally look down on the poor are rendered sobbing and snivelling as they demand to know under whose bidding we have been sent. Every swing is beheading of the arrogant, and their decapitated heads thump lightly before rolling across the wood floor like bowling balls. One of the heads comes to a rolling stop, and its eyes stare straight into mine. Resentment, fear, sorrow. Familiar sentiments, all of them, swirl behind the gathering cloudiness of those eyes. Think you've got it rough, huh? You don't deserve to look at me like that. You've never felt the shearing cold. You've never felt the hunger, the sensation of bones sticking to your skin. How dare me, a beast of the Heishou, lecture us? You're nothing more than livestock. I don't even look around as I decapitate the source of that voice with my pole arm. I felt something rising from my throat. It was dry and discomforting. Don't they know why they're getting killed? How do they not see this as totally just desserts? So despite knowing that there wasn't anyone here to hear my words, I speak to the decapitated heads as I walk across the creaking floorboards. It's never enough, is it? Even with all this boundless wealth, you still had to look for more, huh? I guess it's more of a rhetorical question. It's power, isn't it? You wanted that little morsel of power, something more than money can get, didn't you? They must have been too greedy enough to draw the eye of a different candidate. My lords, to be exact. And they had the gall to give me that look. They pretty much brought all this upon themselves. Looks like I've decapitated all of them. My lord's orders were simple. The mission was to find a small hermitage called the Pine Hermitage and decapitate everyone on the list. There was a weird exception clause listed there should I encounter a target who's not on the list. I should crush their head. But I didn't see anyone that fit the conditions in this tiny hermitage. Well, now that's taken care of, I should head back to... Huh? I detect a very small noise coming from under the pile of crates. I reflexively reach out and destroy them, and a tiny shadow crawled out from under them. So that's why the Lord sent the Heishou here. He knew that they were secretly raising a potential candidate here. A potential rival to him. Please don't kill me, Miss Heishou. Mum and Dad said, if we want to live in Dongguan's blessings, I have to work hard to become the family hierarch, bring prosperity to our family. He's just a kid. He doesn't even know what he's talking about. Now why do you have to go and hide there? Couldn't you have picked a better hiding place than under some random crate? The boy is barely holding back his tears, but the hermitage is quiet and there are no witnesses. Now that I'm thinking about it, my lord probably didn't know for sure there was a kid either. There wouldn't have been that awkwardly worded clause if he did. He would have just told me to kill the child. He must have sent a Heishou for this job, as a warning. A warning to others that he shouldn't even hear rumors of something like this. Well, I see how it is. If the Lord's gonna get me out of here, well, he can't afford to use us snakes for the big missions, right? That has to be why he's using us only for these small, cheaper missions. Looks like this Lord's finally gonna be the one to keep the promise. Huh? What are you... Don't worry about it. It's better that you don't know. You're a lucky one, kiddo. This was a mission I volunteered to take. No other Heishou's coming. And the other Heishou that's supposed to be here seems to have taken the liberty of giving himself the night off. I haven't seen him all night. Sit still, kid. Don't want to accidentally cut your head in half. I won't have to crush his head. A quick beheading should do it. I can explain this to my lord and... Oops, just realized you pretty much had this situation handled. I didn't just jump the gun, did I? My bad if I did. The head drops to the floor. There's a large hole straight through the skull. The boy's head hits the floor with a wet thump in a fashion unlike the other decapitated heads, which rolled away with an almost blithe bounciness. The flesh was raw. Viscous blood drips and sticks to the wood. Damn, it's like this lord's got a sixth sense or something, huh? How do you know there'd be a kid here? Yeah, right. This is why I hate this work. Not allowed to even make a single judgment, just follow the Lord's orders. We won't make any enemies or friends, but that's what makes us nothing more than tools. Its long-term prospects are pretty dire. At least I can comfort myself with the fact that the deal I made with the Lord will be fulfilled soon. This miserable work. Just a few more days, I won't have to be a Heishou anymore. What took you so long? Our Lord gave me a last-minute extra mission. Had to take care of that first. Mission? Yeah, Lord's looking to deal with a prominent candidate from the Zhu family tomorrow. It's gonna be a big mission, so we'll have to let go of our leashes once we take care of it, but hey, if he thinks the mission's worth it, who are we to say otherwise? So, just asking in case you had your hopes up, but you didn't actually believe him, right? That he'll free you and he'll take you under his wing? Huh? Oh, of course not. I'm not stupid. The words that came out of my own mouth were strangely placid, almost jovial. Yeah, no sane person in Hongwan's ever gonna take a non-adept Heishou under their wing. The family hierarch war's coming, right? It'd be a dumb move to not be a Heishou. I'm so glad I'm a Heishou and this stuff's going down for reals. We get a brief period to relax once they pick the family hierarch too, don't we? It was as though something had taken control of my tongue to speak, as though all the gloom in my words were cleansed and filtered before leaving my lips. If I admit that I desire for nothing more than to escape this life of a Heishou, I'll have to face what a miserable thing I've become. You're not wrong. Besides, I know how much you guys will miss me. There'll be a super capable snake-sized hole when I'm gone. That's well, you're not entirely wrong there, but not also entirely correct. Come on, this is when you say, "You're so right, Kay." Ugh, no wonder you're boring. You've been at this for too long. Well, let's head back. I'll report the mission's success to the Lord. We'll need to visit him soon anyway. The other snake leaves. I found myself transfixed by the crushed head, the shape now almost unrecognizable. But I soon look away and leave the hermitage. My room smelled of mold and lukewarm humidity. Old bolus-soaked wraps thrown haphazardly across the floor, blood all over my body. This mess of a room was just too much like my own heart. So I buried my face between my knees to calm the growing misery. I don't know. I just don't know anymore. Everything he asked, I did without question. Was it too much to ask to forfeit a few months of his time with the leash? There was never going to be any escape from this life, no matter how loyal I was. I knew that, but I still had to ask. He could have chosen me. Why? Why wasn't it me? I didn't want to think anymore. Thinking only seemed to sink me, drag me deeper into this endless abyss. I'm so cold. What a miserable encounter it is, isn't it? Anyway, final uptie. Coin power +1 for every 10. Some of this unit's poise potency and target's rupture potency. Gain 2 poise count. Inflict 1 rupture, inflict 1 rupture. On crit, if this unit has serpent arm, inflict 2 rupture. Gain coin power for every 10 to a maximum of 2. Clash win, inflict 2 rupture count. Clash win, gain 2 poise count. Rupture count. So yeah, at the moment we don't have that rupture. Rupture count. Okay, so it doesn't give out extra rupture count, which is unfortunate. But we have 2 rupture count. It becomes 1, and then we drop it at 0 plus 1. At 30 plus poise, consume 10 poise to reuse the coin. I mean, it does look like we're going to get quite a bit of poise. Anyway, on base attack skill use, if target has rupture, gain 5 poise. So it's going to be basically 2 hits on a rupture target will push past 20 to 30. So it will actually have it about this point. On crit, gain 1 serpent arm. Oh, wait. Comparison. Oh wait, no, that one just gives it out for free, but basically the idea is that she can recharge herself without having to keep using defensive skills. Okay, level 3. To a maximum of 2 rolls, gain a base power boost. Gain clash power equal to serpent arm. Gain 3 serpent arm. Nice! Clash wind gives rupture count. This one is kind of out of place. I can't tell whether it's giving out the extra hit rupture count on the 3rd coin or the 2nd coin. And her clashable guard goes from 3 to 10. At 10 plus poise count, coin power +1. Okay, anyway. Ishmael needs to use a better identity, I think. But we don't really have any better options. I mean, she was having fun. Why bother her? I might need to swap over to my bleed team, but anyway, back to Surrendered Witnessing because we have a standard combat encounter here. No, in.
천천히 가자니까.
Podal Assailant, huh? Large Podal and Furtive Podal. So the furtive ones inflict bleed count. No, actually, it looks like large is just better than furtive. Seriously, Gregor? You flipped all tails at 0 SP. You could have beaten him if you'd flipped a single heads, and you didn't. This game is so frustrating sometimes. We need envy, lust, pride, all the good stuff. You know what, sure, gain your, what's it? Wait, what? He's got an unbreakable coin at a very odd position there. Furtive, large. His second coin is unbreakable. Deal 1% more damage for every bleed plus bleed count on the target. That's good to know, I'd say. I'm hoping that we're going to knock his numbers down a bit with killing someone by the time we reach that point. It would be nice. I should also probably swap Gregor out for one that resists slash rather than is weak to it.
한 점만 노린다. 깔끔한 헤드샷.
And stay dead.
적절났다고.
거기까지. 그 정도인가?
Damn it!
공로 지원한다.
Well, at least we're slowing down their attacks a little.
내 뒤로. 이런 모습이던가.
Wow, Gregor got eaten. Wait, no, not that one. We want this one.
무슨 일이야?
All enemies staggered, low morale, or panic. We have enemies that are staggered. Why is it not kicking in?
목을 콱 밀어버리자고.
끝내지. 그 삶에
마침표를!
무사하게 울부짖는군. 이러면 쏠 수 있죠?
시야 확보. 쏜다.
히스클리프 지금.
시야 확보. 쏜다.
뽕 읽어줄까?
더 처리할 먹잇감이 있나?
숨 참고 있을 때 말 걸지 마라.
헤어내리. 아직 죽지 마라. 끝내지.
Oh hey, 30 minutes, just on the mark. Cool. Oh dear.
의뢰비랑 보호수당에서
This is the danger, isn't it?
빼면 아, 오늘은 제사비로 손해를 메울 필요가 없네요.
I kind of really want to go to straight to extract and hit this again, but I need to save up for our Purgus Nut. But we got so lucky. I hate this. Yeah, no. This is the sign. Get out while the getting's good because we need to save. Anyhow, next time on the Limbus Company, Surrendered Witnessing, we do have more story and we have more combat and more story, so I'll have to figure out how I want to tackle this fight then. Until then guys, take care. I'll see you all around.